My name is Bill Binney. I had a very long career at NSA, first 4 years in the military working for NSA, and then 32 years as a civilian working there at NSA headquarters in Fort Meade, Maryland. And I retired from there in October of 2001, immediately after finding out that they started spying on everybody in the United States. I mean, the US citizens were the first to be bulk collected.
We started pulling in such a massive amount of data, and the system was working so well we could see no limit to it. Building relationships between billions of people. I mean, we're talking trillions of transactions. It was pretty clear that we were building the most powerful analysis tool that had been developed in history to monitor basically the entire world in near real time. This is monitoring every member of the population automatically. You invade everybody's privacy. That's not compatible with a democracy. That simply just is not compatible. That's like the Stasi on super steroids or the KGB on super steroids, you know. This is things that they couldn't even dream of.
The point is that by bulk acquisition, they can't stop anything. This ever-increasing amount of communications has to be collected by NSA. That's an ever-increasing amount of money they need to do that. So they're locking the U.S. public into this bulk acquisition system, which means you have to keep giving me more and more money. And then every time an attack occurs, they claim, you know, well, we didn't have enough data. But it turns out every case since even before 9/11, they've always known the people beforehand. The problem is you have too much data. You aren't focusing, you're not doing a disciplined professional job. That's the problem. So if they'd have focused, they could have a chance to stop these people because they already knew who they were, right? If you focus and pull data on them and them alone and anybody in the zone of suspicion around them that you can easily define in terms of the social network or in terms of behavioral properties, then you've got a rich environment to actually succeed. I'm kind of angry at these people for doing this because people are getting killed all around the world because of it. A lot of people ask, what should they do? What can they do? You know? They feel hopeless, right? It's too complicated or too difficult to get anybody in the bureaucracy to do anything right. But you see, what they really don't understand is they've got a lot more power than they realize. They have the power of the vote, and when you threaten them with that as the voter, and you do it in sufficient numbers, you have all the power in the world. In the United States, I've been suggesting publicly that we use Article 5 of the Constitution, which means the states can hold a constitutional convention separate and apart from anybody in Washington. That means that we could modify the Constitution as to how we elect our officials in Washington, D.C., randomly select them from the phone book or something like that. So that, first of all, it gets rid of political parties, all elections, all the lobbying. It does a number of other things. One, it gets a bunch of people who would want to solve a problem together. Secondly, most of them would be honest and want to balance the budget. And we'd have people who don't like getting into wars and killing people. I mean, wars are very profitable for certain companies. This is why President Eisenhower warned us about the military-industrial complex back in 1961, about the undue influence of them. Well, now they've got really big influences. I mean, after all, and now it's not just the military-industrial complex, it's the military-industrial intelligence governmental complex, okay? But they're all together in supporting one another, and so that basically is telling you that the intelligence agencies and the military-industrial complex really feel that they're above the law and that they really do run the government, and we people do not.